Can you guys hear me? Yes. Good morning. Good Monday morning. And this is Mindset Monday. And I am Monica Graves. And I welcome you to this Zoom call because we are going to talk about our goals for 2025. So hopefully you have already looked at some goals. Usually that time and what we did last month with Mindset Monday is we talked about, I'm going over the 10 steps to achieve your goals. And we talked about the five steps last week, and then we are going to talk about the last five. So that will be 10. And I'll go over the first five with you briefly so that you can catch up if you weren't on the Agent Collective Mindset Monday last month. So usually in, December is the time that I like to start looking at my goals for the following year. And it's the best thing to do is write them down, right? If you write them down and then you put them somewhere, then you can actually look at them on a daily basis if you want, a weekly basis. And what I do with my business goals is I definitely look at those quarterly, but then I've got personal goals that I want to visualize, right? I want to see them. I want to look at that desire, that goal, and then close my eyes for a few seconds and sort of visualize it coming true. And that's based on, the law of attraction. What you focus on expands. And if you can believe it, then you can achieve it, right? So that's one of the best things about goal planning is you must believe it. Okay. If you have doubt about your goals, it's going to be really hard because you're putting up resistance to reaching those goals, right? So, for example, I really wanted a mountain home, and that had been a goal for me. I lived in Golden, Colorado, but I wanted a house that was going to be near the ski resorts. And so I really focused on getting that property. And this was around 2008, 2009. And if you've been in real estate, you know what years those were. Those were the years of, foreclosures, short sales. And the last thing that a lot of people would be thinking about really in real estate was trying to purchase a home, a second home. But the more I thought about it and the more I got involved in my visualization of it, I did a vision board, did all those kinds of things, and put that goal of I wanted a ski resort mountain property. And lo and behold, I was selling a lot of REOs in the Denver metro area. And one of the banks said, "Hey, do you know anybody in Vail, Colorado, in that surrounding area that we could give some foreclosure listings to?" And I sat there for a second and I was about to say that I could look up and find somebody for the bank. But then instead I said, "Oh, I could sell those properties." And they said, "Well, do you live there?" And I said, "I have a second home there." And I literally went out that day, got a P.O. box in Vail, and I made it happen. I was able to get a property in Vail, Colorado as a foreclosure. And and that's how it started. It was like visualizing and seeing it. And then all of a sudden I had a mountain property. And of course, that's a great way of seeing a desire, a burning desire that you really want, and visualizing it. And then all of a sudden, someone comes in your life or something comes into your life and will help you to reach that goal. Okay. So let's start with I'm going to see if I can share this PowerPoint with you, because let me see. If I start with this screen, it says 10 steps to achieve your goals. And let me see if I can get it into a slideshow. Current slide. All right. So hopefully you guys can see this. And I will go over the first, the step 1 through 5 really quickly. Okay. So step 1 was loving yourself. Are you willing to let go of the old beliefs and love who you are? Okay. So quit doing the things that you do when you don't get those beliefs, or you don't get those dreams that you have right away. Okay. Love yourself for who you are, because by loving yourself, you're opening the portals, you're opening the less resistance so that you can achieve your goals. Step number 2 was letting go of limitations. So fortunately, if you recognize the beliefs that are limiting you, then you can change those. Okay. I'm flipping through this real quick because we went through them in December. Step 3 is to choose happiness. When you choose happiness over, you know, I shouldn't use the word hate, but if you have a situation and you want to be happy about things that are happening to you, you just change your thought about it. Okay. So Abraham Lincoln said, a person is about as happy as he or she makes up his mind to be. It's really all about the mindset. Today, the most important decision you can do is to love and accept yourself, and you will gain great happiness and peace of mind. Okay. So then step 4 was finding your life purpose and living it with that happiness. So once you find that aspect of what is your passion, what is your purpose, it will bring more happiness, and that's going to help you with your goals. Again, we're talking about visualization. Look and see. Maybe it's a photo. Maybe it's putting something together like a vision board, and you look and see, what is my purpose? How can I surround myself with my purpose? Bring people into my life so that I can live it. All right. And then, of course, the happiness comes because you're living your life purpose. Number 5 was let go of fear. All right. Fear is false evidence appearing real. If you've got fear of something, then I suggest that you actually do more of it. So let's say you have a fear of speaking in front of people. Well, then you should join something like Toastmasters so you can get used to speaking in front of people. If you've got fear of doing your first listing consultation, well, then practice. Get away from that fear, because what fear does is cause more resistance. And when you cause resistance, you put a block up around that goal. It sort of puts this big shield up in front of you, and you can't reach the goal because of the fear, because of that resistance. Okay, so we're going to jump into step 6 and take a little bit more time here, because I gave you the first 5. Now, step 6 to reaching your goal is you actually really need to have that mindset of anything is possible. All right. So possibility thinking is, let's say, so I'll let you know one of my goals. One of my goals is, right now I've got 77 agents in my EXP organization. All right. I've been with the company 2.5 years, and my goal was 100 in that 2 years. I want to do, around 50 agents, attracting agents a year that I've been here. And I've got 77. Well, I am so happy about having that many agents. But my goal for 2025 is to have 200 agents. Okay. So that number 200, I'm writing it everywhere. I'm visualizing 200 people. I'm looking at photos of lots of of agents all together so that I can expand my mind into thinking I'm going to have 200 agents by the end of 2025. And what that does is it also forces me to have that possibility that it can happen because I'm seeing it, I'm acting as if, and then I visualize it as being true. So, what this says right here is the greatest revolution of our generation is the discovery that human beings, by changing the inner attitude of their mind, then you can change the outer aspect of your life. All right. So, this was a psychologist and author a long time in the early 20th century. So, if you think about that, you really have to go inside and see, visualize what it's going to be on the outside, the outer aspects of your life. So once you start with yourself, with those first 5 goals, and then you start with the mindset of knowing it's possible, then it can be true. So again, we have to, let go of those false limiting beliefs. Because when you have these goals, you want to have that imagination. We all have imagination. We use imagination every single day. But you want to sort of focus in on that imagination and say, is it going towards things that are limiting or is it going towards things that are inspiring? So let go of those false beliefs. Nothing is too big or too outrageous. And if you feel a little bit uncomfortable about that goal, well, that just means that you're growing. Okay? Sometimes you got to be pushed out of the nest. If there's something that you have fear around, maybe you hire somebody to help you get past that. Like a mother bird that pushes their birds out of the nest to fly for the first time. Spend time with people that inspire you. All right. That was one of the reasons why I picked the sponsor that I picked with EXP, is because he inspired me. I wanted to do things that he was doing, and then I'm learning every day about how to reach those goals by having somebody that's pushing me, having somebody that's doing something that inspires me. Okay, again, dream as big as you can. There's never been and never will be anyone exactly like you. So you've got your dreams, but again, surround yourself with people that are going to help you to get to that. Now, step number 7 is to always expect the best. If you expect your every need to be met, then expect the answer to every problem, expect abundance on every level, and expect to grow spiritually. All right. So when you have these goals, expect that it will happen. If you surround it with doubt, then it's going to be really, really, really hard to reach that goal. Whether it's a dollar amount that you want to achieve, whether it's a new house, whether it's the number of transactions that you want to achieve, you have to expect that it's going to happen for you. Because, again, it's on that vibrational level. If you have that vibration surrounding you that I know that I can achieve this, again, it starts with belief. So if you believe it, then you will see it. You've probably heard people say, I'll see it when I believe it. I'm sorry, I'll believe it when I see it. I say it the opposite way. I just said it that way. I will see it when I believe it. Because when you believe something truly, with all the power in your heart, it will happen for you. But you have to expect it. Okay? Feel yourself shifting from these expectations. And the easiest way, I think, for you to have expectations is good expectations is start being grateful. So if you are grateful for what you currently have, then you can start to expect more miracles. Because when you're in a sense of gratitude, that also opens up that least resistance. Okay. So if you ever have a sense of overwhelm, try to switch that mindset to a sense of trust. And I trust that everything's going to be okay. And when you trust that everything's going to be okay, new opportunities just show up. All of a sudden, this opportunity that you never even really thought about might show up so that you can actually have it lead to something else. So if you expect miracles, expect to be appreciated, expect the answers coming, then that expectation will lead you to achieving those goals. So I like this affirmation for expectations. It says that I welcome miracles, love, and all the answers that I want in my life. Helpful people show up for me, and I attract all that I need. And then always say, I am grateful. Okay? Because, again, if you're grateful for what you currently have and grateful for the people that you have in your life, then all of a sudden, helpful people will show up more for you. And then you'll start attracting everything that you need for that goal. Okay. Number 8 is take the risk. Take that step. All right. Again, if you're letting go of the fear and then you set up your expectations, then just take that step. Just take action. I love this this quote, and this was she was a nun, and she says, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Okay? So think about it. If you're holding yourself back, or if you're not taking those risks and you're just not taking that action, it's going to start to become very, very painful and uncomfortable for you. So when you take that first step, get out of that mindset of that you can't, and do the mindset that I will or I am, then you'll start growing. So in growing and changing, it helps to have a support group or somebody to hold you accountable, because you might feel that resistance, or you might feel that it's too hard. And then you've got somebody that says, you know what? Let me help you. Let me see if I can connect you to someone that can help you. And you always want to have that friend or person that's also believes in you, right? If you have this huge dream or this huge goal to do something, and you've got somebody in your life that's always telling you there's no way, you need to, that I sort of call those people vampires, because they sort of suck the energy away from you, because you've got all this great energy and this you feel really good about what you're doing, and then you got this negative person that's telling you there's no way. There's no way that you can have that many people in your downline, or there's no way that you can do 500,000 in gross income. Of course you can. Okay? So again, hold yourself accountable, but also have somebody else holding yourself accountable. Now, clarity, this was my word of the year. So clarify, because a lot of times we get if you have too many goals going on, or if you feel a little bit scattered every time you look at your goals, you need to get really, really clear about that intention, clear about that goal. So a good exercise is always just to take a deep breath, relax, and then you can take out that piece of paper, look at those goals, and maybe you say, there's just too much going on. I want to make myself clear about this. So I'm going to get rid of this goal here so that I can focus on the other one. Okay. So sometimes it takes that, because the clarity aspect of it, if once you're clear on that decision, then the doors start to open. There might be some that shut, because I found that too, is the ones that shut, that was not really meant to happen. And all of a sudden, another door will open. And then you're like, I'm glad that one shut so that this one could open. Okay. Um, and you might want to just take a screenshot or take on your phone if you have your phone. But these are some great sentences when you get to that point of clarity. Wouldn't it be really fun to blank? My biggest dream is to do this. I feel alive when I blank. My greatest satisfaction is this. I really feel in tune when I'm doing this. Okay. What is that step you're going to take? Okay. Now you're getting into that action, taking that step. Step 9 is to shift that focus. Okay. Now, Carl Jung was a great philosopher. And what you resist persists. So what this means is if you resist something that you don't want, all of a sudden you're in a situation where you get more of it. And that goes along with that fear. If you have fear of doing something, then all of a sudden more of it will show up for you. Okay? So when you shift your focus to something that you want really more of in your life, again, what you focus on expands. Okay? So it's true for both things. What you focus on expands. If it's negative, well, then there's going to be more of it. If you focus on something that's positive, then it's more of it. Okay? So again, what you focus on expands. Knowing this and practicing these are two different things. So think of something right now where you feel challenged. Is it money? Is it health? Maybe it's a relationship. So if you are worried about it and you're dwelling on that, then guess what? You'll get more of that. So you have to switch that mindset to focus on how to improve. Focus on and get really clear about what you want instead of getting clear on what you don't want. Does that make sense? If you get clear on what you want, then you will start to see more of those things happening for you versus if you start focusing on the things you don't want. When you focus on the things you don't want, you're putting too much energy on the things you don't want. And then all of a sudden, you get more of what you don't want. It's just the way energy works. So how to shift your focus. I love, love, love this book. If you've never read this book, please get it. It's by John Assaraf, and it's called The Answer. And so when you see The Answer, that's the book, but then the subtitle is Grow Any Business, Achieve Financial Freedom, and Live an Extraordinary Life. Worry is a prayer for something you don't want. When you worry, you are actually praying for it to happen. So when you're putting that energy of worry around something, it's actually a prayer. You're praying and focusing on something for something you don't want. So again, the easiest way to shift your focus is to be grateful. If you're grateful for the things that you have, because now all of a sudden you put that energy around being grateful. So being grateful for the things that you already have, focus on the goals of the things that you want, not what you don't want. Okay? Then you will start to see how much easier it is to achieve those goals. All right. So we're going to do something here. And we'll sort of end it with this because I think that when you visualize, and this is step number 10, you can actually make it real because you're putting the feeling of it, because you're visualizing it, and that feeling of it being real makes it so. And, it was Albert Einstein that said, out of all of the things that you can have, imagination is the most important. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Okay, sometimes you think you want to know everything about something, but if you imagine, you can actually create that world and make it real. And then you can focus on getting more knowledge about it. Okay, so again, holding that vision of those goals, whatever that one goal, maybe get really, really clear on this one goal that you want to happen. And then you close your eyes, and sometimes it only takes like 30 seconds. You can take longer if you want, but I think that this, we're not going to do this right now, but if you go and you watch Mel Robbins, and Mel Robbins, she says the number one habit of billionaires, that's if you want to go to YouTube and look that up. Mel Robbins is the speaker. This is her right here. A lot of people say that I look like her when I put on my glasses. So I like Mel Robbins, and her story is great because it was all about how she was going through bankruptcy. She was going through a divorce. She was losing her house. She lost her job. All of these terrible things were happening, and she just did not want to get out of bed, right? Because she was so afraid. The fear was gripping her that she would just hit that snooze button every time her alarm would go off in the morning, and she didn't want to face the day. And she would hit the snooze button like 5 times, right? Because she was like, I just cannot face everything that's happening in my life. And one day somebody told her about counting down, like I guess she was watching like on television, and she saw the spaceship go up, a rocket ship go up, and you know how they count it down. And then somebody told her that that's what they do in the morning before they get out of bed, is they count down. It's sort of like a rocket ship. And it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up. And that was how she started doing it. And then before she knew it, she was talking to other people about it. And she was helping so many people. And then she's decided to write a book about it, about how to count down and then take action. But when you visualize, it's similar to that. It's sort of like closing your eyes, visualize what you really, really want, and then pretend that it's already happened, because your imagination will help you get there. So claim who you are. It takes courage to achieve your dreams. It takes persistence, patience, a lot of gratitude, and all of a sudden, these opportunities will appear. But you have to stay aware, okay? This class was from last year, so I apologize that we already had the class last year, and then I did it again in July. But if you are interested, you can go to my website. It's called Manifest with Monica, and you can see the 22-day challenge there. But I really want you guys to focus on those 10 steps. Be persistent, take the right steps. Patience is needed. A lot of times people, sometimes it might take 3 years to get to a goal that you've had. But stay persistent on it and keep being grateful. And then the people will start coming to you to help you get to that goal. I've had people tell me that it took 5 years, right? So just be patient. Just know that those opportunities will keep coming. And then you stay aware. Stay aware, open yourself up to it, and claim your magnificence. You guys are awesome. I know you can achieve your goals. And this was a great 10 step to achieving your dreams. And if you want to reach out to me personally, you can. Okay? Have a great week, and I hope this helps you achieve your goals.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.